Hey ladies, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I wanted to come on here and discuss what it means to offer grace to someone as a high value woman. This is going to be a short and sweet video, but I hope you guys learn a lot from everything that I'm going to discuss. So to extend grace to someone, speaking from a Christian woman, and the Christian definition of grace is to extend love and mercy to somebody. Usually we do this when I know I do this. I extend grace to people who may have just made common mistakes. Instead of me getting into my ego and getting prideful, I extend grace because human beings will disappoint you. Human beings will make the wrong choices. They will make the wrong decisions. And not really realize what they're doing at that moment. And in order for you to preserve the relationship in some way, shape, or form, and also for you to not get so upset, extending grace is a great option for doing this. However, you also need to decide, and it's up to each individual person, what you want to extend grace to. The things that I would extend grace to, maybe Samantha over there wouldn't do it. And that's okay. We all have our own light. We all shine differently, and we all take in different type of situations and people in different ways. I think grace is most essential in relationships, romantic relationships. Men and women are different. And we don't communicate or understand things the same. We do make mistakes. And I think when we're so in accordance with cancel culture, we forget about grace and we make grace seem like we're giving a bunch of chances, but it's not that at all. It's a way of showing love to someone and giving someone the benefit of the doubt, I guess, in simpler terms, but it's really just showing someone some mercy. And it's really just about us when we extend grace. It's not really about the other person and what they did. It's about us and our character and what we let affect us and our level of judgment and discernment on who we should extend grace to or who we should just love from a distance. As a high value feminine woman, you want to learn how to extend grace because there's going to be a lot of people throughout life that are going to try you. They're going to try to make you feel like you're crazy for wanting the things that you want and doing the things that you want to do. And they're going to try to belittle you and bring you down. And you need to give these people grace because sometimes they just don't know what they're doing. They're reacting off of emotions and assumptions that really have no facts. And during times like this, I personally feel offering grace is warranted. However, if it's someone that clearly knows that they are in the wrong and choose to not be better people or choose to not hold themselves accountable, and it's a consistent thing that they're doing, I think loving someone from a distance is also what should be the call for people like that. The thing is that Jesus had 12 disciples. There's a reason why he only had 12. Not everyone had a seat at his table. Not every person he ran into in the New Testament didn't sit with him at his table. But yet he still helped people. He had no problem talking to people about problems, but they just weren't included in his 12. And that's okay for us to do with our dealings with other people. He extended a lot of grace to people. However, he was still protective of his heart. So that's what I want you ladies to learn. Being a high value woman is to be protective of your heart and extend grace. You don't have to be friendly to everyone. Femininity is not about being so inclusive. You can be a little exclusive and be feminine. You want to protect your femininity and you want to protect your heart. And you want to do this by extending grace, but also using discernment and being wise on who you should involve yourself with, that may or may not hurt you. And You being graceful is a very loving thing to do to someone, because you don't want to have a heart full of hate. And when you have a heart full of hate, you can't extend love, you can't extend mercy, and you really are filled with ego and pride and kind of selfishness when you're full of hate. You need to understand that people are not going to be how you want them to be. They're going to be how they want to be. And once you really understand that, it's going to be very easy for you to extend grace with someone in your circle or someone at a distance. And it's appropriate to extend grace to someone at your circle when you know someone's true heart, when you have more evidence of their heart being pure than you do of their heart being not pure and just negative and not good for you to be around. Those are times when you should extend grace. You should know real people, who the real genuine people are in your lives. And even if you don't know right now, or you think you do know, the best way to find out who is and isn't for you is with time and effort to bring out the best or bring out somebody's worst. Sometimes certain situations are going to come up when someone's worst is going to come out, and you have to decide for yourself, is this a moment where I should extend grace or I should love from a distance? That is up to you to decide, and everyone's decision is different, and everyone's basis for their decision is different. In social media, there's a whole lot of kind of just self-righteous femininity that I see going around in the community about being stingy with your time and being stingy with your ability to nurture. And ladies, I just want to challenge all of that and just say to you, is it natural to be stingy with something that comes naturally to you? How can you be stingy with what is supposed to be you? How does that work? If someone can explain it to me, because I can't be stingy with something that's natural to me. What I can do is set boundaries and set standards and expectations for someone to experience that natural part of me. But if someone has met my standards, they've met my boundaries, I have no reason to be stingy. I just don't like that word stingy when it comes to being a feminine woman, because femininity is not about being stingy and living in scarcity. It's about channeling your true nature as a woman and thriving in it and being open. You don't want to live life with a closed heart, with an eye to just criticize everyone and come up with assumptions and being judgmental. You can't extend grace that way. There's certain femininity pages that I follow, and the rhetoric is just changing to, instead of being feminine and open and welcoming and wise, it's now about being self-righteous, stingy, materialistic, and full of vanity. And that's not about what femininity, that's not what femininity is about. Femininity is about being yourself, being open, spreading love, grace, mercy, and but at the same time, you have boundaries. So never letting yourself to just be used. Don't be a pushover or a doormat, but at the same time, don't switch up. Don't save parts of yourself for certain stages. Be yourself and just be exclusive to who gets access to that stage. I really hope that I'm making sense, because I just see a lot of people who don't want to talk about how you can properly get to know certain people to make sure you have the right people in your circle or the right man in your life. Instead, they just talk about being stingy with this. Don't do this until this point. And none of that really matters, because you can follow all of that advice. Be stingy until this point. Don't cook for him until this point. And then the relationship doesn't work. That's why I don't agree with stuff like that. Pick and choose the right people and the right men to do those things with. If you don't feel comfortable doing certain things for a man naturally out of the goodness of your heart, you need to ask yourself, is this a man I even want to be this close to? A man that you want to be with, that you want to be close to, you should not have a problem. A man that you trust, you should not have a problem doing things for. It's backwards. I know we want to protect our hearts, but we also don't want to put walls up against our hearts. Protection, not complete, like, stay out, And there are men who deserve good treatment, because there are good men out there. You just have to pay attention to who those men are when you meet them, and you have to stand your ground. You have to keep boundaries and standards up. If you have standards and you have boundaries, it's going to be, and you stick to them, keyword stick to them, it'll be very easy to figure out which men or which man out of that group of men is the one you should be most open with. And even if that doesn't work out, because people do change throughout life, you don't change. You stay yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you extend grace, you're not the loser if you are graceful. You're not the loser when you show love and when you're genuine. The person that did you wrong and the person that you've decided you need to love at a distance is the person that's going to be without your genuine, intimate love and grace. Like, that's the person who's losing out. All right, ladies, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was very short, sweet, to the point. This was a topic on grace and extending grace, and as a feminine woman, as a high value woman, and just some things I wanted to touch on what I've been seeing that is not in accordance to being graceful and what it means. And just for us to not forget that we can extend grace to people. We can forgive them. But however, it is up to you to decide who you're going to extend grace to, how you're going to do it. Not everyone deserves to be loved so intimately and closely. You can love people from a distance. You don't have to hate on folks, and you don't have to be so stingy with every single person. Just set your standards, your boundaries, have your expectations. Make sure they're all realistic and you're able to extend grace. And also to understand that you can't avoid being disappointed in life. You can't avoid the wrong thing being said to you. You can't avoid that. It doesn't matter how Christian you are, how Christian of a man you have in your life is. You just can't avoid it. So you have to really grasp being graceful and being merciful and being loving through all trials and tribulations, because they're going to come. They are going to come. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Once again, make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and check out the podcast for other topics. And until next time, ladies, bye.